Welcome back everybody to TechXpress. In this tutorial, let's dive into the exciting world of podcasting with a complete beginner guide on how to start your own podcast on Spotify in 2023. So whether you're looking to show your passion, discuss topics you love, to show your way to connect with a wider audience, this tutorial will walk you through every step. So let's turn the podcasting dream into reality. Understanding the podcasting and Spotify platform. Podcasting has become a powerful medium for storytelling and share ideas on Spotify. So being one of the largest audio streaming platforms offers immense potential to reach a global audience. So before we start, it's essential to familiarize yourself with podcasting basis in Spotify, podcasting guidelines. First, let's talk about conceptualizing your podcast. Start by defining the theme or niche of your podcast. What are you passionate about? Who's your target audience? Next, think about your podcast format. It will be interviews, it will be storytelling, educational stuff, or just a mix of different formats. Once you have a clear concept, you can plan your episode structure and overall some content strategy. To get all of that, I'm going to leave you guys a link down below in the description so you can get a few resources that are totally for free that can help you to get started. And this one actually were developed by the actual Spotify. So with all of this guide, it's going to be helping you to grow and reaching your new listeners. Actually, we started an actual podcast not by first checking out what the people from Spotify had to say. For example, there's a masterclass, how do they get started, the equipment guide for creators, how to podcast launch it, profitable subscription into Spotify for podcasters, the creator guide, how to merge a podcast success. So I checked all of those blogs so I can first of all move on into the next one, which is recording and editing your podcast. To record your podcast, you need some basic equipment, a good quality microphone, headphones, and a recording software. There are many affordable options out there, perfect for beginners. Once again, Spotify can help you to get started for free. This one is called Soundtrapped. Now here into Soundtrapped, you can start by making music, but you can also do now podcast in here totally for free. And here, of course, you don't need to download all this, you don't need to pay absolutely for anything. Of course, there are a few stuff that are, let's say, a little bit affordable, but if you're not interested in here, you can just stick around with the free version. So here, you wanted to get started by having your very first account. Choose the option that says personal for use. Even you can start a 1 month free trial of all this new experience. But once again, you can get started by going into enter the studio. And just by entering the studio, it's going to be just really simple. You can just get started by adding your new track. Choose the one that says new project. Let's go, for example, for podcast. You can see that we have an introduction on how we can get started. Invite a collaborator, collaborate with other people. And here you wanted to add your new track. Add a new track. I choose voice and mic, and here I can start by adding my microphone here, and I can start recording the stuff, and then later on I can share this and export them so I can move down and import this into Spotify for the podcasters. Effects that you can add it by default. So before uploading this to Spotify, you'll need a podcast host, of course. A podcast host stores your audio files and generates RSS feeds for your podcast. So there are several podcast hosting platforms available, each with different features and price points. So you upload your podcast episode with your chosen host and copy your RSS URL. So with that being said, you can go into podcasters.spotify.com, and here what you can do is to start by signing up, of course, here into Spotify. So let's say that I wanted to start a podcast, and I continue to the application of Spotify. You wanted to agree to the terms of services here, hit into save now. And this is your main host of the actual podcasting. So once again, you have to upload your podcast episode with your chosen host and copy the feed URL. So make your first episode. You can go here into Let's Do It. And here you can upload the audio or the video that you have generated with the Soundtrapped application. So it's time to submit your podcast to Spotify. You can go into Spotify for podcasters and sign up for an account. Once we've done that, you can fill the podcast details like the title, description, category, and upload your call out. So lastly, you have the marketing and the growing your podcast. After your podcast is live, guys, you can move on into utilize social media, engage with your listeners, consistently produce quality content. Remember, growing your podcast audience takes persistence to stay motivated. Here you can see all your episodes that you have just added. You can see here your analytics of how many people checked out your videos, in this case your podcast, and here you can interact by building a community to add, for example, like a Q&A and polls directly in them. And lastly, if this wasn't enough, you can monetize your actual podcast directly inside Spotify, which is actually really great. And there, guys, is how you can get started to your podcast in Spotify into now the 2024. The world of podcasting is full of opportunities, and we can't wait to see what you actually create. So if you find this guide helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Express for more content like this. Have any questions or podcast ideas, you can drop them into the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy podcasting. Keep following Tech Express for more guides and tech tips. Hopefully, guys, we can all see you next time.